Well, our president has said that we will not get involved. He doesn't want to be involved in a counterattack, but he's right. They have to walk a fine line. Do they attack back and say, you can't do this to our country? What does Benjamin Netanyahu do? Probably his time as prime minister is coming to an end. So does he go ahead and respond?
Well, it's not. I think he's got a few laps. I mean, the earliest they'll call elections is August, right? And that would even be a little quick. I would say this. I think they have to attack. I mean, how do you possibly let somebody hit you with 300 ballistic missiles, drones, cruise missiles from various locations? And, you know, some of those rockets were heading towards Jerusalem, where Palestinians are on a regular basis at that holy site. And then when you get up in the morning and find out, as bad as it was, it could have been 50% worse. I mean, that seems to me less and less measured and more like ineptness. And also Jordan, France, UK, US, and this sophisticated missile defense system all had to combine to stop this. But if you begin to accept that Iran is going to be attacking Israel, you up the threshold, because we never thought in the beginning Hamas rockets into Israel were going to last. Now it's part of their daily lives. So what else? Now Hezbollah, part of their daily lives. Now we're supposed to say Iran? Every day they could attack?
Well, Brian, you talked about accepting, and one of the things that I've been quite vocal about, the stuff that's happening here at home. These chants that are going on. Well, this is a chant that started in Chicago after they got news what was happening in Israel. Watch.
I just have to report something to everyone, and so it begins. Iran has just responded about 30 minutes ago. There are reports of drones having been fired on Israel from Yemen and Iraq as well. This is when this country and the world needs us, because the United States is going to, quote unquote, defend the criminal Israeli state. And all of the anti-war committees here, all of the Palestine support coalitions here must be ready immediately to be out in the streets and to stop the U.S. from expanding this war on Iran.
Right.
You know, Charlie, we keep pretending like we don't understand what these people mean. Yeah. I mean, it's all over the country. They're saying that they hate the country. They're saying to the river, to the sea, and we keep saying, oh, it's just free speech. It's free speech until they decide to attack us here at home.
Yeah, and after October 7th, there were a lot of people who said that they were upset and you know, stood up for innocent civilians in Gaza. And of course, everybody's concerned about innocent civilians in Gaza. But this rips the Band-Aid off of that. There are people who they don't care about innocent civilians in Gaza. They hate Israel, they hate the United States, and they want to see both destroyed. And you know, they're not even pretending to window dress it by claiming to care about innocent Palestinians, which of course they don't care about. The leading terrorists making the lives of Palestinians miserable are Hamas and their supporters, like these clowns in Chicago.
There were 300 anti-war activists. They were meeting in the basement of the Teamsters Union headquarters on Saturday. They were describing their plans to disrupt the Democratic National Convention, which is coming up in August. We'll all be there. And then this happens. The man takes the podium and he announces that there's eruption. Everyone in that room, Brian, I thought of you, was wearing the N95 masks. And one guy in the back takes it down and starts whistling. But yeah,
and can I just say one thing about this? What's so appalling about this is that Democrats are still going to try to curry favor with these people. The Democrats are still trying to win these people's votes.
You're right.
Real quickly before we go to Brian, the mask, because I've been to a lot of these protests, aren't because of COVID. They're putting the mask on because they don't want people to see their identity.
Right.
Yeah.
CBS did a poll, and they asked Democrats, are you in support of giving weapons to Israel? In October, 47% said yes, which is astoundingly low, except for now. It's now at 32%. The future of U.S.-Israeli relations with this next generation of Democrats is not there. And that is exactly what the Palestinians wanted. That's exactly what Iran wants. Their propaganda effort inside the U.S. is working. They have to feel like they're making progress.
Don't you think that's why Joe Biden has said he won't support a counterattack? He won't support Israel's counterattack?
He's afraid to lose in Michigan and Minnesota.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.